While Super Smash Bros. Still reigns supreme in the platform fighter genre, many games have come and gone in their attempts to dethrone this iconic title, which has become a must-have in many Nintendo game collections. But with the indie gaming scene now bigger than ever, a new contender approaches in the form of Bounty Battle, a 2D platform fighter featuring over 25 characters from 20 different indie games. But does it have the cojones to take on the best of the best? My name's Gotcake, and I welcome all you Star Seekers to Star or Shovelware. So kicking things off at the main menu, which I have to admit isn't the most impressive or polished of menus, and it's actually a little difficult to see what you've got selected on them. Taking a look at the game's single player game modes first, we have Tutorial, Tournament and Challenge, as well as a training room. Diving into the tutorial, we play as Azel, one of Bounty Battle's own characters, and we get a rundown of the game's basic mechanics. We move around with the left thumbstick or D-pad, can jump with A, and double jump by hitting it a second time whilst in the air. We're able to perform a dodge roll by hitting the B button in a direction, which can also be performed in the air, and additionally we can perform a backstep by holding B or a teleport dodge by pressing up and B. When it comes to attacks, hitting the Y button performs a basic attack which comes in a 3-chain combo, and we also get smash-like heavy moves by pressing X in combination with either up, down or a direction button. As you'd expect, each character comes with their own unique basic attacks and heavy moves, and variants of these can be performed both when on the ground or in the air. Grab moves can be performed by pressing R1 and you can throw an opponent in a specific direction, and each character also comes with a special move performed by pressing or holding R2, and finally an ultimate move activated by hitting both the Y and X buttons together. So heavy, special and ultimate moves along with dodge moves all use energy, and your current energy levels are indicated by blue orbs in the rather small character card at the bottom of the screen. There's a bunch of different details here, including a red health bar, your current score seen as a number beside your portrait, your current win streak seen next to the crown above your portrait, your character handicap seen as a percentage below your portrait, and finally your bounty points seen below the blue energy orbs. Now bounty points are earned by killing opponents and performing attacks, and when you earn enough you can spend these to summon a minion which will aid you in battle. The type of minion and its costs are seen in the microscopic grey bar below your bounty points. So as is the case with Smash, gameplay in Bounty Battle involves you fighting against AI controlled opponents or other players and eliminating them to earn enough points to win. The game's first single player mode is called Tournament. Now upon selecting this, the tournament screen opens to display Azel as your character. While there are 30 tournaments in the game, one for each character, you have to first complete all 5 of Azel's matches in sequence in order to unlock the next tournament character. To me this makes absolutely no sense, and it's hardly a tournament at all, as each match in tournament mode basically sees you either going one-on-one against an opponent, fighting multiple opponents at once with the aim of reaching a specific number of KOs, or the worst of the lot, removing enemies from the arena a specific number of times, which unless you've got a character with a knockback move, which Azel doesn't, you basically have to resort to using the throw button for, or rely on the game's dumb AI to jump off the edges themselves. After completing 4 tournament matches, your 5th and final match will be a boss fight against one of the standard game characters, and beating the boss will reward you with a still image of your character before you're promptly booted back to the main menu. Now heading back into the tournament mode, you'll be able to use the next character who also has 5 tournament matches, but these are no longer locked and you can simply beat the boss battle on each character right away to receive another still image and unlock the next character. And that's basically it for the game's main single player mode. While the game's intro features a fantastic animated opening cutscene, the game itself actually contains no storyline whatsoever. The second single player mode is called Challenge, and this is just a one-on-one gauntlet similar to those found in Mortal Kombat, where you have one-on-one battles against a single opponent, but unlike Mortal Kombat where you face different opponents depending on the character you select, in Bounty Battle you always face the same set of opponents in the same order. The first 6 or so fights in challenge mode are an absolute joke. There is literally no challenge and you can just spam your basic move to stunlock every opponent into a corner. Now the opponents you face increase in difficulty, but instead of just making the game's AI smarter requiring you to master your character's movesets, in Bounty Battle difficulty is mainly increased by upping your opponent's handicap, boosting the HP and damage output. Once you hit the prisoner from dead cells, shit gets real as he's got some quick evasion maneuvers and hits like a truck, whilst all the moves that you perform only chip away tiny amounts of his health. I actually managed to beat him after about 20 tries, but the next opponent, Juan from Guacamelee, is pretty much impossible. He begins the game with bounty points and right away summons a bunch of chickens who hunt you down and can basically kill you in about 5 seconds flat without Juan himself even throwing a single punch. And so I give up after attempting to beat him with several different characters and headed off to play the game's one and only multiplayer mode, Versus, which to my surprise can only be played locally. That's right, a Smash Bros like brawler which doesn't have any online multiplayer. So this mode supports up to 4 players, but only has a little bit of customization. You can select from any of the 30 characters, choose your team colour allowing for 2v2 combat, select whether to play a timed life or count based game, and turn on power up, which I assume enables bounty minion purchases, but I really couldn't tell. Now I can see 4 player battles being pretty enjoyable, but with the world's current climate, getting together with a bunch of friends often isn't an option, and the limited amount of customization in battles, including the lack of any unique arena mechanics or appearance of random items in games to spice things up, leads me to wonder how much longevity Bounty Battles Versus mode actually has. Now there's a decent roster of characters in the game, including the Prisoner from Dead Cells, the Penitent from Blasphemous, Juan from Guacamelee, and that one scientist looking dude from Axiom Verge. But there are also several of Bounty Battle's own characters which are all visually unique though rather generic archetypes, and there are plenty of characters from games that I personally have never heard of or played, though I'm pretty sure plenty of other people will recognise them. I thought the visuals and animations of characters were done really well with some great detailing, but once you get in game a lot of this detail is lost due to the distance of the camera, especially in 4-player mode, and many of the game's arenas are very dark, which is in stark contrast to Super Smash Bros. Bright and vibrant arenas. Not only does this reduce the overall visibility of characters, especially those with darker palettes such as the Crusader from Darkest Dungeon, but I highly suspect this has been done purposefully to disguise the low resolution textures and general poor quality of arena visuals. Despite the lack of demanding visuals, Bounty Battle suffers from frequent frame rate drops, even when playing one-on-one games, which could have something to do with the floating particle effect overlay, but at this point I really don't know or care. On paper, Bounty Battle sounds like an indie game fan's dream. Combining an epic roster of indie game characters with Smash Bros type gameplay should have been an easy win. So how on earth did they fuck this one up so badly? The developers already delayed the game's original July release date to improve the quality of the game, and it would have been interesting to find out how much worse the game could have been. Now, like I said, the 4-player multiplayer likely has a few hours of fun to offer, but if you're a solo gamer like me, I'd recommend steering clear of Bounty Battle, at least until online multiplayer is added to the game, if it ever happens that is. So now let's get on to rating the game. Now I rate games between 1 and 5 stars, with the shovelware stamp of approval awarded to only the worst games on the eShop. This rating is based on my own personal opinion on what's on offer in terms of gameplay quality and value for money to potential buyers. And for a rating I'd give Bounty Battle 1 out of 5 stars. What should have been an instant hit is instead a very average platform fighter, and what I feel is extremely overpriced for the quantity and quality of gameplay on offer. Bounty Battle releases on the 10th of September, and you can get it from the UK Switch eShop currently with 20% pre-order discount for $15.99, or from the US eShop for $19.99. Alternatively, the game's also releasing on Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Steam. How's it going, Starseekers? If this review of Bounty Battle helped you out, hit that like button and let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game in the comment section below. As always, subscribe for future Switch content and reviews, and jump onto the Starseekers Discord to join its growing community. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, game on.